Hello and welcome to this short restorative class where we are going to be combining the magic of classical Pilates and Kundalini yoga for some deep release in our hips and lower back. You don't need any equipment to do this one with me. Let's get on the mat. So we're going to start today lying down on our backs and just hugging the knees into the chest right away, getting a nice little squeeze, and you should feel that right away this opens the low back and stretches the hips. For a deeper stretch, you can even grab your own wrist behind your knees to kind of lock yourself in place. We'll hold here for a moment and just breathe, letting our minds and our bodies arrive on the mat together, and just letting the knees really relax and fall into the chest. This is really a go-to kind of home-based position for classical Pilates. So really nice at the beginning of the workout to spend a little bit of time here, just kind of notice how you're feeling. And then as we come back to this position again and again, you're going to feel yourself kind of release and evolve throughout class. On your next exhale, go ahead and lift your chin into your chest, and you can bring those hands out from under your knees and release them long by your side. We're going to start to pump the arms here up and down, up and down. So this is the 100 in Pilates. And today I'm going to give you the option to put your feet down on the floor and really just focus on relaxing your legs. So often we hold a lot of tension in the hips here. You might even be able to straighten your legs and stretch. Really different than what we normally do. And then, of course, you can always bring the knees into the chest if you do find that more comfortable. But basically, we just want to put your body in the position where your hips and legs and thighs are going to just be able to go, and relax. So the core is engaged, the arms are pumping, the head is holding its own weight, and the legs are really, really soft. Gorgeous. Next time you exhale, hug the knees back into the chest. You can take that grip of holding the wrist behind the thighs if that felt good for you before. And then let's all take the hands to the knees and just stir the knees in some circles. So you can peek at me. You'll see that I'm letting the knees pull into the chest, and then they're opening, widening, circling around, and then coming back in. Really nice massage for the hips and the low back, sort of massaging the SI joint. And then the next time you bring the knees into the chest, go ahead and reverse and go the other way. Nice deep breaths, just a few more times on your own. Beautiful. Bring the knees to the chest and then set the feet down on the floor, a little wider than hip width apart so that the heels brush the middle finger. And then press your feet into the floor. We're going to lift the hips up and down in some bridges. This is something that we do in both Pilates and Kundalini yoga. And we're really using this today to stretch the front of the hip. So I'm not too concerned with how high your hips are going today. I really just want you to feel that as your hips lift up, it's almost like you're sending your knees towards the front of your mat over your toes and getting a lot of length through the front of the hips and the quads. You can exhale as the hips go down and inhale as the hips lift up. And you'll just do this a couple more times on your own. Lifting the hips one more time. Let them really stretch and extend out to open the front of the thighs. And then exhale. Roll down your spine. Hug those knees to the chest. Give a little squeeze. And if you liked those knee circles we did before, go ahead and do a couple of those again now. When you're ready, we'll put both hands on the right leg and let the left leg go long on the mat. So our goal here is to pull the right knee as far as we can into the chest while really pressing the left leg away, potentially even touching the left hamstring back down to the mat. Beautiful. That bent leg can now come up to the ceiling, and I want you to keep it a little bent and just make some circles. And we're really making these circles with the idea that we're sort of massaging the inner landscape of the hip socket. We're going to go 5 times one direction, and then come to the top and reverse, go 5 times the other way. Really nice job. Go ahead now and put your opposite foot on the floor and bring your leg across into a figure 4 stretch. So the leg that was just circling is now laid across our opposite thigh, and we're just pressing away. You can bring the other knee up into a little extra figure 4 stretch, but personally, I think it's a better stretch for many of us to keep the foot on the floor and really focus on pressing the knee away. Wherever you are, just nice deep breaths. Let your hips open, let your body relax. Nice. Let's take that whole sequence on the other side. So left knee hugs to chest, right leg presses away. And remember, we're trying to pull the left knee deeply into the chest while keeping the right hamstring pressing down and out into the mat, which is harder than it sounds. Should feel like a big stretch in the front of both your hips. Nice, easy inhales and exhales here. When you're ready, you'll bring the left leg up towards the ceiling, remembering that it doesn't have to go all the way straight. We just want to press it up and feel some length in the hamstring and stack the femur bone up on top of the hips. And then we'll make our 5 circles, going 5 times one way and 5 times the other. Nice deep breaths, and keep that length through the right leg the whole time. After the left leg has circled 5 times in each direction, bend the right knee, put the foot on the floor, and take the left ankle across for your figure 4 stretch. So again, remember, you could pick the knee up, but I think it's going to feel good for most of us to just press that knee away. And then on this side, I'm taking one of my favorite variations where I'm just rocking my knee a little side to side. You'll feel this adds a little dimension to the hip stretch and also massages a bit through the lower back. Hold and breathe, and we'll take about 3 more deep breaths in this position. When that stretch feels complete for you, you can meet me with both knees hugged into the chest. And then you're going to put both hands on the right leg, press the left leg away, keeping it a little high, and then switch sides. So we're going to go back and forth here. And again, we're just trying to pull the knee in while pressing the other leg away. So it's essentially what we were doing before, but now we have the legs in the air, a little more dynamic. You're just going to switch the legs back and forth. Nice deep breaths for this active stretch. Hug both knees into the chest. Rest the head for a moment. Take a couple breaths. You can pull the knees in or press the knees into the hands to traction the lower back. And then rock yourself up to sitting. And we're going to take a variation on an advanced exercise. We're going to do a really gentle restorative version. So this is called the can. Nice colorful name. You're going to lean back on your forearms, come onto tippy toes, and then rock the knees to the left and then to the right. And we're just going to go back and forth here, getting a nice little stretch. You can do this really small if your back and hips are sensitive, or you can go big all the way one way and all the way the other. Remembering that bigger won't be better here. You want to go to whatever level gives you a really nice relaxing feeling of stretch. So nothing should feel like ouch or pinchy. Should all feel really good. Really nice. Join me back at center. Then come up to sitting, and you can take any comfortable seat. I like cross legs here. And we're going to put our hands on your knees and start to spiral the torso. So we're going to lean a little to the side, to the front, to the side, and then to the back. Just moving our torso in this spiral motion. This is Sufi grind from Kundalini yoga, and I love pairing this with my Pilates practice. Feels like it has all the principles of Pilates, the movement with strength. Go ahead and reverse the other way. Nice flow and articulation through the vertebrae, and it should just feel really good. Let's take 2 more circles here just to wrap up our time together. And then when that feels complete for you, go ahead and just sit tall in the center. Take a nice big breath. And that is it for today. You are all done. I hope your low back and hips feel nice and soothed. This is a great practice to come back to again and again anytime. We do a lot of things like this in my restorative and low back love class, which I've linked up for you in the description below. If you want to see more free videos like this one, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you'd like to see next. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time on the mat.